1939, Nazi-occupied Poland. Poland women POWs vanished without trials or names. What happened behind a German officer's door, and how did one woman survive erasure?
Easy, I've got you.
1939. This was not a prison. It was a machine built to erase people. No verdicts, no records, only barbed wire and organized silence. Hundreds of women stood there, no names, no ages, no longer counted as human. When people become smaller than the cold, power no longer needs violence. She didn't enter with a name, but with a shove into the line. No questions, no resistance her body understood before her mind. Her hand clutched her coat, holding the last thing that was still hers. From that moment on, choice no longer existed, only being moved. She stood among many, yet belonged to no one.
We can't stay here much longer.
Different faces, sharing the same nameless fear. One hand clutched another, gripping life itself. No one spoke. Breaths and boots on snow said everything. He stepped in without words. Silence itself was the command. No whips, no shouting power didn't need to prove itself. She lowered her head by reflex, as if fear had been memorized. Real terror begins when violence is no longer necessary. The line moved forward, no one asking where they were going. That door wasn't just an entrance, it was a boundary. Light touched her face one last time, like a silent goodbye. Half a second of hesitation, the last moment still called a choice. The door slammed shut, and the outside world vanished. Darkness didn't just block vision, it erased identity. She took a deep breath, as if to remember she once existed. From that moment on, there was no way back. She curled up inside the barrack, small within enclosed walls. The surrounding sounds faded, as if the world was pulling away. No tears, only total numbness remained. This wasn't the end, it was the beginning of hell. Dawn brought no hope, only orders.
Line up!
Bodies lined up, like tools pulled from storage. She stepped out, unsteady. The night hadn't truly ended. From imprisonment, they moved to consumption. Axes, saws, ropes handed out like rations. No instruction, no protection. Survival wasn't expected. Her hand trembled on the axe, cold mixed with fear. For the first time, she understood. Her body was now a tool. They entered the forest, where wind drowned human voices. Snow fell, trees collapsed. Nature joined the punishment. She dragged heavy logs, skin tearing, breath turning to steam. This was no longer labor, it was erosion of life. A body collapsed, like broken timber. No one stopped. The rope stayed tight. She glanced once, then lowered her head. When death causes no interruption, it becomes routine. Break time brought no rest, only waiting. Thin soup, hard bread, just enough energy to not die. She shared a small piece, without words. In hell, humanity is the most fragile thing. Work continued, even as bodies failed. She slipped, snow swallowing her legs. Blood soaked the cloth, breath spinning. She stood up not from strength, but because falling wasn't allowed.
Stand up.
She stopped working, just for a moment. The deep forest ahead, barbed wire behind. Axes kept striking, the system never stopped. For the first time, her eyes chose survival. Gray dusk settled over exhausted bodies. They returned to camp, like resetting the cycle. Her shadow stretched on snow, heavier than her body. This chapter ended, but a decision had begun. Night inside the barrack didn't sleep. It only held its breath. Bodies slept upright, too exhausted to dream. She opened her eyes for the first time, refusing the night. In her hand, a scrap of cloth weighed more than fate. Three shadows leaned close, afraid to use names.
Tonight.
No clear words, only breath against ears. One hesitant glance, one heavy nod. Trust didn't exist, only shared desperation. The wind howled like an unexpected ally. Snow crushed the barbed wire, forcing it down. Guards lost sight. Darkness provided cover. Opportunity didn't knock, it existed for seconds.
Now!
They crawled low, as if the ground were the last ally. Barbed wire bit cloth, then skin. Blood surfaced. No one dared scream. This moment split their lives in two.
Quiet.
Three ran, no formation, no direction. Branches lashed faces. The forest offered no mercy. Breaths piled up. Snow swallowed every step. Now, survival was pure instinct. A body slipped, crashing into snow. She couldn't rise, eyes begging. The protagonist stopped one heartbeat long. For the first time, escape asked a moral question. The second turned back, choosing humanity. She kept running, choosing life. Tears froze on her cheeks. She didn't look back. Looking back meant death.
Keep going!
The forest opened, but gave no directions. Dawn approached. Hope did not. Feet dragged, hands went numb. She was completely alone in the world. She collapsed, snow embracing her body. No strength left to rise. No fear remained, only exhaustion. The line between life and death blurred.
I'm tired.
Snow fell heavier, covering all traces. The wind claimed all sound. Her body lay motionless in white. This chapter ended, but she was not dead. She lay motionless, snow quietly covering her body. Her breath remained so thin, it was barely visible. There was no fear left. Fear requires energy. Life retreated to the edge of the frame. Amid the wind, a sound that didn't belong to the forest. A distant engine, broken human voices. A finger twitched, not hope, just reflex. Instinct stirred, consciousness fading out. A human silhouette emerged through the snow. He approached slowly, without intrusion. She opened her eyes, the world still blurred. For the first time, power came without fear.
Hey.
His face became clear, an American officer.
Easy, I've got you.
He removed his glove, skin touching skin. Fingers found her pulse, gentle, precise. She didn't pull away touch without threat. He signaled for help, asking nothing. No interrogation, no past demanded. A blanket was placed over her body. She trembled from warmth, not fear. Inside the shelter, the wind was kept out. Warm light rested on her face. A cup touched her lips, her hand shaking. Her breathing steadied, the body returned. He sat across from her, keeping distance.
You didn't do anything wrong.
He spoke slowly, only one sentence. You didn't do anything wrong. Tears fell without sobbing. She closed her eyes, no longer on guard. Camp sounds echoed, then faded. Axes, icy wind retreating, only present breathing remained. She opened her eyes, her gaze steady. Soft light settled across her face. Her lips moved, calling her own name. She was no longer an unnamed victim.
Anna.